Hey, welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome to the second installment of my Disturbing Things series. If you've been around for a while now, you've noticed that I've changed the title of this series to just Disturbing Things. I'm not just a Nexpo ripoff or Nick Crowley, I'm just heavily inspired by these creators, but I don't want to rip off the whole name. There's too many videos out there known as Disturbing Things across the internet, Disturbing Things in the internet, whatever. This is the second installment of some disturbing things. Things found across the internet, rabbit holes, conspiracies, you name it. Collected in one big video, all for you to dissect and enjoy. I did all this research, and before I begin, I want to say that I have two people in this video with me. My buddy Lude and Tomar. Shout out to them. More on that in a bit. On with the video. Hope you enjoy. I am so sorry, but that was just so perfect, was it not? Please, I promise, no more. I promise. The Dyatlov Pass incident is possibly one of the most infamous hiking events in history. In the Ural Mountains area between February 1st and 2nd, 1959, 9 Soviet hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains. This would cause decades of conspiracies, misinterpretations, and misunderstandings. For decades, a mystery that would never be solved, even to this day. An experienced trekking group from the Ural Polytechnical Institute was led by no other than Igor Dyatlov. They would venture forth a mountain pass and do an expedition like no other. It was meant to be something prideful, a passion project from the Institute. As they left for their expedition, snow would only get thicker and thicker. Many people worrying for their safety were curious, but they had trust. We do not know the events that transpired on the days leading up to the incident's discovery. However, we know what remained. On the eastern slope of Kholat Syakhl, an established camp was discovered in the Russian SFSR of the Soviet Union. A thing caused them overnight to cut their way out of their tents and flee this said campsite. They were inadequately dressed for heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures. The discovery of the bodies were disturbing, shocking, and unexplainable. 6 of them died from hypothermia. The other 3 were killed by physical trauma. One victim had severe chest trauma. Another had a small crack in his skull. And another victim had major skull damage. 4 bodies found lying in a running water creek. 3 of 4 damaged soft tissue of the head and face. 2 bodies had missing eyes, and 1 had a missing tongue. Another missing eyebrows. At face value, it's hard to understand why they had so much trauma. It could have been animals in the area, but the cold was just too severe. Now, I'm not a scientist myself, but I don't know what extreme weather can do to a body, especially when it's that cold and sub-zero temperatures. So there's a possibility that it was just the water and a mixture of the snow causing all these things to happen. But to me, I can't explain why eyes would be missing or eyebrows. But that's just how I see it. I'm not a professional. And not only that, during Soviet Union Russia, it's hard to get proper information about the case as well while reading the articles about it, because even they had no logical explanation, or the conspiracy is that they were keeping something away. After a quote-unquote proper investigation, it was concluded that a compelling natural force caused the deaths. Theories included animal attacks, military involvement, or some combination of these factors. There was also a theory of infrasound-induced panic. It's theorized that infrasound may cause feelings of awe or fear in humans. It makes people feel that vaguely odd or supernatural events are taking place. This is directly from the Wikipedia about this phenomena. And there's a lot more to it if you'd like to look into it, but I digress. The final theory was an avalanche, and Russia would reopen this case only recently in 2019, and in 2020 the conclusion was once again an avalanche. The mountain pass in the area was named Dyatlov Pass in memory of the group. There was no name prior, at least from my knowledge. This incident has become known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Thank you for making it so far in the video. In my past videos, I yap a lot about how grateful I am. I don't want to do that just yet. I actually want to stop and just say shout out to my buddy Lude. Lude is a creator that I find to be very underrated. If you want to check him out, Lude Spook on YouTube right here. Now, the reason why I'm saying shout out and how much I love this guy is because he's actually about to narrate the next segment. He is one of, if not the best, smallest creators I know right now, and he is one of the best iceberg creators right now in the game. On YouTube, there's a lot of oversaturated icebergs, and I think Lude Spook paces them well and crunches them out like no tomorrow in a good way. I don't know how to explain it. He just has an aesthetic that I really, really fuck with and enjoy, and I like that. So thank you so much, Lude. It was a pleasure to work with you, man. And I hope you guys enjoy him. He is a blast, bro. One of the greatest guys ever. Super underrated. Check him out. I'll talk more about other things later. All right. Out with the video. I'll give it to you, Lude.
Christy Spikusa, a mother of 4, was found dead in a wooded area in Pennsylvania. She was killed by Calvin Crew, a man she met through the Uber ride-sharing app. Crew had a criminal record and was known for robbing people. A video from the dashcam in Spikusa's car shows Crew pointing a gun at her head and forcing her to drive. She begged him to stop and said she had 4 kids at home. But Crew didn't listen. He told her to drive and kept the gun pointed at her head. The video also captures Spikusa attempting to call for help on her phone, but Crew snatched it from her and threw it out the window. Eventually, Crew murdered Spikusa and stole her money, but police arrested him just a few days later. Uber expressed regret over the incident and stated they were working to improve the safety of their rides. However, Spikusa's family believes Uber failed to do enough to protect her. They argue that if Uber had properly screened Crew's background or equipped Spikusa with more safety features, she should have been alive today.
Hey guys, I hope you're really enjoying the video so far. I just want to plug myself real quick, and I'll do that again later, but I just want to do it in the middle of the video like usual. Call it shameless, but you know what? I leave a timestamp to skip if you don't care. The Yapathon will begin. Alright, as you noticed, I have a channel membership, and I have not talked about it much, little to at all. So, basically, there's 2 tiers, Zethhead and Super Zethhead. For $2 a month, you get badges, emojis, priority applied to comments, member-only chat rooms when I live stream, and you're just able to support me. You also get shoutouts in my videos. Now, Super Zethhead, for $5 a month, you get all the previous perks, plus early access to new videos and member shoutouts. Specifically, member shoutouts in my videos, not just on my channel. I think it's a good deal if you care about the content and want to invest yourself. I plan to release a new video every 2 weeks for the upcoming future until I create a documentary I'm very passionate about, but I won't talk about that yet. There's a documentary that I plan to make that will be very high quality and high budget. However, to reach that goal, I need financial help. That won't happen for a long time, but if you're curious about it, it'll happen sooner. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but all I can say is that memberships will help support this channel. I'll make that very clear. All the money you put into this channel will reflect it. The quality of this content will be reflected by how much money is gained from this content. And because of the type of content I make, specifically the dark type content I make, there's not much financial gain outside of memberships for me. I do this as a hobby, as a passion, while I'm going to college. So to make that very clear to you now, I have goals and ambitions. And if you want to support those goals and ambitions, you like me, you like what I do here, you like the content, I really, really want you to check out the membership and consider it. For only $2 a month, you get a lot of cool stuff, and for $5 a month, you get all my content early. And I think that's a good deal. Now, let me make it very clear that channel memberships are very new, and I'm still messing around with it. I'm getting a new artist to rebrand my content a bit because my current avatar is not something I'm a big fan of. I digress. If you're curious, check out the channel memberships. The only other way you can support me at this current moment is by using code RYZETH in the Fortnite item shop or in Epic Games. Yes, I have a creator code, and it is RIZETH, RYZETH. Other than that though, channel memberships and sending out supers in chat are the only other way you can support this content. And if you believe in what I do here and what I produce, I really, really think you should. Thank you so much for listening to me yap for 3 minutes if you did. Anyways, if you skipped, that's fine. Let's head on to the video, shall we? When I first heard about this case, there was something that disturbed me. In the past, when, growing up on the internet, you would see gore or just disturbing stories that happen, these stories about killers getting away with stuff, just true crime, whatever. But it's very much a rare occurrence that these extreme events happen. Most of the time, reality is something that is scarier. And I feel like this fits reality very well. It's not a graphic story, it's just simply tragic, and there's something so hopeless about the whole situation. This is a story of the Death Valley Germans. A family of 4 consisting of 34-year-old Egbert Rimkus, his partner Cornelia Meyer, 27, also included was Rimkus's son George Weber and Cornelia's son Max Meyer. George Weber was around 11 years old, Max Meyer was around 4 years old. This was a German family coming from Germany, go figure, and they took a flight from the Seattle-Tacoma airport and they headed all the way to LAX from that airport using another flight. Then they spent some time in San Clementine area around Southern California, but after visiting Cali, they decided to head for Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, that's a big place in the US, and why not? They were doing what tourists usually do, explore the area, be entranced by everything, and they went on a bunch of adventures together. They went to a bunch of Las Vegas attractions and parks and whatnot, and they were just having a good time. Well, as they were spending time in Nevada, they appreciated their surroundings, doing what any visitor would, and that was appreciating the region. They would then buy 2 copies of a book known as the Death Valley Monument book, which I believe holds information about the Death Valley National Park to be exact. Now, to explore a national park like Death Valley, a book that explains the area is very much important because Death Valley does not have many unrestricted areas. It's a very free park that recommends you don't go in unrestricted areas. And yes, there are signs that say don't go here, but unlike Yosemite, it's not as blocked off. They would head out on the journey, but for one night they would camp out close to the telescope top in Hanapuya Canyon, which is in the area. They would then explore just several areas in the Death Valley Park, but a change would happen that we to this day don't understand why. It wouldn't be much time until Rimkus's wife, his ex-wife, would be concerned, because of course he was with their son and they were going out of the country and they would not come back. The name of the ex-wife was named Heike Weber. It was shown that the family purchased, or rather scheduled, a ticket from Los Angeles to return to Germany on July 27th, 1996, but there was no proof they got on the trip or even left the US at the time. There was also a report made at the time saying that there was a stolen rental vehicle by German tourists. This was a minivan. Specifically, the rental minivan was the 1996 Plymouth Voyager minivan, and it was green. It wasn't until October 21st, 1996 when the family's rental minivan was found in a quite far-off area of the park. It was called Anvil Canyon, which was very close to the Death Valley National Park east of Willow Spring. It was found during a routine overhead surveillance checkup of the area. They were simply looking for illegal drug manufacturers, which is a practice there. Crime would be easy to do given the desolation of the area, so as protocol, there was always checkups. This is bizarre to see. Presumably, it was a minivan that could be holding drugs, so out of curiosity, they decided to check it. The vehicle was discovered with a lot of camping materials, food, toys, fresh everything pretty much. Everything's very fresh. Survival tools, camping equipment, you name it. It had everything you would need, and it was very new. This was a very confusing thing to witness and discover, so when they connected the 2 dots with the rental company and with this vehicle and the family, they started a hunt. But due to how expensive that hunt would be for the search, around $80,000 to be exact, just for that area, the nature of the area, the dangerous terrain, it was difficult. The hunt for them stopped only a week later. It's not an easy place to traverse even on foot, which is why hikers say do not go there, because it's a very, very, very complicated area that requires a very experienced person. And a vehicle like that would not survive. Evident by the tires, as you see in this picture here, you can't see it very well. The tires were damaged heavily, all popped due to the rocks in the area. This is not a playground. This is a very treacherous area. The Death Valley roads are a vast region of desolation. No houses, nothing was developed in these areas. They are complicated, bumpy, and dangerous. It is just dry as can be. Dry, dry, dry. The car most certainly could not withstand these conditions. It broke down, they were out of signal everywhere, and had little chance of survival. There was no way to make contact with people. There was a lack of animal life. The animal life that existed is usually not only rare, but mainly nocturnal. The rocky terrain and other factors destroyed the wheels, like I said. It was scorching hot. They had barely any food for everyone. It's a very horrible area and a very tragic situation. And they had 2 kids. Now that's scary. This is a sad situation of not knowing what you're getting into. A tourist attempting to have fun with their children ends up in a nightmare that no one wants to ever be in. It's not something many think about either. There's no inherent happy ending of this story. The Death Valley Germans never showed up. The family was announced dead. However, the good news is the case was closed, yet no remains were ever found. There was some closure to this whole case. Because in 2009, Les Walker and Tom Mahood, 2 hikers who were retired search and rescue personnel, set out to find the skeletal remains. They came upon 2 adults but never found the children. Many consider this as foolish, but in my view, it's not only interesting but also commendable that they went out there for nothing, quite literally for the sake of closure. There were also plenty of alcohol bottles around, some discovered in the car. This was most likely all consumed by Rimku. I think what's disturbing and sad, though, is the alcohol found outside of the vehicle. There's a high chance that the family most likely died to heat stroke and dehydration. There could be a darker side of this story that we'll never know. We never found the children's bodies, and I know that this is a sad thing to say, but if Rimku had to bury his own son, and if Cornelia had to bury her own son, that would be a tragic thing to do. Bury your own children and then die alone. It's obvious they were struggling, and Rimku was drinking quite a bit of alcohol. They were stressed out. They didn't know what to do. They were trapped out there. The Death Valley Germans, to me, is one of the most disturbing cases because at its core, it's such a monotonous case. There's nothing really to it. It's just tourists that got lost and died. But if you think about the case and the circumstances, there's a sense of history there that really disturbs you. The fact that up until 2009, those bones were just out there. Up until now, that minivan is still there. Yes, the minivan still sits there. They never got rid of it because they couldn't. There was no point to. So that's one thing to say. But yeah, I don't know. This one really bothers me. I don't know how else to put it. And I think that's why I wanted to talk about it a lot on this video. Because this is a case that not many people mention or talk about, and I'm glad to share it with you guys. But it's also something that truly is disturbing. It's a disturbing thing. And for me, I think that fits not only this video, but I think it's a story that deserves to be told. Because at the end of the day, these were just normal people, normal, ordinary people trying to enjoy their time with their children. And now that is tragic. Like I said in the intro, it wasn't just Lude Spook, who, by the way, please check him out. I love that guy. Amazing guy. But it wasn't just him. It's Tomar. Tomar's one of the most underrated gaming channels on the platform. I'm in his videos a lot of the time. I am a regular member of that Tomar group. And it feels good to say Tomar is narrating a segment on this channel, which is going to be in just a few seconds here. But let me just make it clear. Like I said, check out Lude Spook and Tomar. They deserve love. I'm serious. I'm going to say this a million times over. Please check them out. Links in the description. Their newest videos just came out recently. Check them out. Binge them. They both have a lot of content to binge. Tomar's got 30 gaming videos to binge, and Lude Spook's got over 10 iceberg videos to binge. One of the best creators on this platform. Both of them are the best, most underrated creators. Check them out. Love you, Tomar. Love you, Lude. All right, I'm giving the mic to Tomar now. Good luck out there, brother. And let me tell you, he had all the luck because he did beautiful.
Andrew asked if I wanted to do a segment on Disturbing Things Volume 2, and I was shocked because I make gaming videos and I'm not a writer, so go easy on me. I'm going to be talking about the tragic passing of 13-year-old Karanbi Chima. Karanbi, also known as Karan by friends and family, was recognized as lively, grateful of life, and always smiling. Karan was severely allergic to wheat, gluten, all dairy products, eggs, and all nuts. From a young age, Karan's mother trained him to read stuff when they're out grocery shopping. Karanbi was very aware of what he could and could not eat, all thanks to his mother. Karan's mother, Rina Chima, is an amazing mother, and doing research on this topic, I got to see how much Karanbi meant to her and how truly a great kid he was. Karan had his whole life ahead of him, but sadly, the morning of June 28, 2017, would leave Karan's friends and families devastated. In the early London morning, Karanbi's mother is late to work, and she rushes out the door saying to Karanbi, "Don't be late for school." No one would bat an eye. It's something that so many other mothers and fathers and grandpas and grandmas would say to their kids, grandkids, just like some one-off thing, right? Sadly, this is one of the last things Karan's mother would be able to say to him. Karanbi, while at lunch, had cheese flicked onto his neck, where he immediately went to the teacher and explained he was allergic to it. Where the cheese had landed was starting to itch, and Karanbi was scratching it so hard that it drew blood, and it was able to make its way deeper into his skin, making his symptoms rapidly increase. Karan's mother gets a phone call at work asking if Karan can take Puritan, and she allows it, but also she had a feeling something wasn't right. 7 minutes later, she gets another phone call. She needed to get to Karan's school immediately. In that 7 minutes between phone calls, Karan had entered anaphylactic shock and was administered an expired EpiPen. Rina rushed to the school. She was stopped and told, "Don't go in, don't go in." And like any mother would, she ignored them to get to Karan. Karan laid there surrounded by medics, unconscious. In the coming days, Karan would be put in Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, where Karan's mother would be given the hardest choice for a parent. Karan's family would sit and wait for him to get better. Karan never did. After 11 days, Rina decided it would be Karan's best interest to turn off the life support. Karanbi Chima still lives on in his family and friends' memory, and in mine and yours. The kid that flicked the cheese was expelled from the school, and all charges were dropped because they determined there was no malicious intent. Allergies are something that isn't taken as seriously as it should be, and after being exposed to this story, I will try my best and be wary of others, and I hope you do too. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you, Andrew, again.
It's been my dream since I was a child to reach 100,000 subscribers, and because of you guys, that's actually possible now. When I first started this channel, it was an experiment, because for years I've been making YouTube channels trying to do something different. But this time, something stuck. And for the first time in my life, I finally surpassed 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm sitting here at almost 5,000 subscribers, unsure of how to feel about it. Do I deserve it or do I not? And I think I can confidently say after all these weeks and reading all your comments, I think I deserve this. Creating is something I enjoy. I make music on FL Studio, I make YouTube videos on Resolve, I write videos, I go to college. I think I work hard in my own way when it comes to creation. I do research, and I'm an aspiring filmmaker. So I just want to say thank you so much for 5,000, almost 5,000 subscribers. Thank you. Please, by the end of this year, it'd be awesome if we could get almost 100K. Now, it's becoming less and less possible. With videos coming out every 2 weeks, I don't know if 100K is doable. So I have a new goal. At the end of this year, let's hit 50,000 subscribers. And for next year, let's get 100,000. Riseth 2025, baby. Thank you. More than 700 people in the UK have posted a protest website looking for someone to die with. This is what a BBC investigation found. What I just read to you is from a very disturbing article from the BBC. BBC investigators discovered something, a rabbit hole so vile and disgusting that it deserves to be talked about and brought to attention. This was a BBC investigation. This investigation was for an unnamed website that had forums that allowed individuals to locate mates. You could make a post about yourself and you had all your information: age, your sex, where you live, and of course, how you would want to die. The website also encouraged a toxic chemical to be used, as this was the best way to commit. In November 2019, from his Midlands house all the way to Scotland, Angela Stevens' 28-year-old son Brett traveled to see a woman he had contacted on the thread. The couple bought an Airbnb together and stayed there for a bit. They were then found dead together, lying side by side. They would have ingested the same chemical that the website recommended. They committed. More than 5,000 postings on the thread featured individuals from all around the world. Over 150 British citizens have after using a substance pushed by the website. Helen Kite would be a victim of this website. Not a victim, not of her own hand or will, but of her sister. Her sister Linda would post for herself, when then she would get in touch with the man and would meet him at a Rumford, East London hotel. They ate the chemicals and passed on July 1st, 2023. Helen found Linda resting next to a complete stranger, dead. Helen's other sister Sarah was distraught by the passing of Linda. She then went to the forum herself and took that same chemical. It becomes much worse. There are predators on this site. I don't just mean predators, I mean predators preying on innocent women. Looking for a young woman, a 31-year-old male by the name of Craig McNally would reply to a succession of postings in the partner thread, assuming the life of a woman when he found her. He strangled this woman to death, killed her, abusing the fact that she was... He didn't care for himself to die. He looked for a vulnerable, weak woman to attack and murder. That was his intention. He would have met many other women on the site, but only this woman would be his one success at murdering somebody. He did try another persuasion, but rather in a different way. Roberta Barpos is a Romanian woman who would have taken her own life at another date, but at a time would have went on a date with this man with the intention of killing themselves together. Of course, she didn't like this man and decided to call off the date. She left early and at another date and time again, sadly, took her own life and passed away. But the fact that she never vowed to see that man again says something, doesn't it? That is disgusting. Now, as of writing this video and doing all the research, it seems that BBC have said the website currently is down and has been reported and being dealt with by the police. My honest to God question is this: how do people get away with killing others this way? I mean, this has to be considered a form of murder, right? Forcing people to kill themselves, or rather encouraging, how about that? Encouraging people to commit is one of the most disgusting things and most depraved things I've ever seen in my life. I have seen a lot of sites in my past. I mean, there's a YouTube video talking about a site that shows you methods on how to end yourself. But I have to say, this has to be one of, if not most, the disgusting things in the world. This isn't some blue whale thing. No, this is worse than that. Not to disregard Blue Whale, because there were true lives lost in that situation and rabbit hole. But a website truly encouraging this stuff is just disgusting. It's like Tinder, but instead of dating, you're going on a date to end your own lives. I don't have much else to say about this topic. I'm disgusted. I want out, but it needs to be talked about, so I give you that piece of information. All I can say is I hope all the individuals that suffer, and it was quite a bit, over 150 is a big damn number. I hope these people found peace. They did not deserve all that mental manipulation and validation. They deserved love and compassion. If you or a loved one is suffering, please call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's available 24 hours, and it could really help somebody. Listen, before I continue, I want to say that this situation's been milked to death, and I don't want to overstay my welcome with it. So I'm going to make it very clear now. This is a situation that I'm a bit late to the party for. But I'm not glorifying it, neither am I giving this person a whole entire video. However, I'll make it clear right now, do not witch hunt or seek out this person leave the authorities to deal with this situation. I will talk about it to give it attention because the authorities need to be pushed a little bit. Do not seek or find this specific individual that I'm going to be talking about. We all know who Smart Schoolboy 9 is at this point, and if you don't know, then I guess you've been living under a rock or you're the luckiest man alive. Now, before I say anything, my friend ISIS, fuck you. All right, this guy is scary. They say that this dude's not scary, but I disagree. Okay, this dude is terrifying. Now, he's not terrifying in the conventional sense. He's terrifying in the idea of what he is. I'm not going to put it down lightly. Smart Schoolboy 9 is a predator. He has fetishes that are obviously directed towards childlike mannerisms and children. He uses AI to create CSAM material. It's this whole rabbit hole that there are videos going deeper into it. Again, I don't want to make him the topic of conversation. I want to put my hat in the barrel and say, this is my attempt to push out this problem. He's a part of a bigger rabbit hole issue of predators on social media like Instagram that are unregulated, allowing you to create obscene, disturbing content for his own sick pleasures. One of the reasons why I say do not seek out this individual is because of the fact that this individual actually gets off to being called a predator, acting like a child that is getting attacked by a predator. Smart Schoolboy 9 is a 50-year-old man that dresses up as a little boy or a little girl depending on how he feels. He glorifies himself and makes a big deal about how he's a certain age and a certain grade, or in the UK, I guess they say year. I'm age 7 and I'm in year 4. I don't know, stuff like that. And I'll show you references as I talk about it. As a side note, he does create music or has about an hour of music out there. An example is this one that's very popular and creepy.
I think I hear a running tram from back in time, not out of time. I think I like a little lemon and lime.
And just a very harrowing, disgusting person. He's 60 years old and he dresses up as a boy/girl, posts weird, overtly edited content that is almost mind-numbing to view. This is a very sick person, and an example of why the internet is a very disturbing, disgusting place at times, because people like this exist. And, you know, I'm not the one to, quote, kink shame somebody, but this is far beyond a fetish or a kink. This is pedophilia, okay? This is what it is. At their core, Smart Schoolboy 9 is an individual that knows very well what they are doing. Smart Schoolboy 9 has responded to many people accusing them of being the predator when he's confronted. Smart Schoolboy 9 would say how this person is wanking. In reality, as he's typing that, he's more than likely wanking himself. The thing I want to add to this situation, I feel like I did not realize how far a predator can be. This reminds me a lot of the BTK killer in one way. A predator can be in all sort of shapes and sizes, and this individual, quite large by the way, definitely has a very obscure, bizarre, and specific fetish. Now, is it out of the question that it's a bizarre fetish and no one has it? No. Many people have boot fetishes and this weird mask, mouth, sex doll fetish that this person has. But he links it with this weird roleplay of being a child, which is a thing, of course, but the way he does it is much different. I don't know how to describe it to you, but it just is. And meshes it with this whole thing of truly trying to give the appearance of being a child, getting mad at people for being accused of not being a child, and then calling out others for being the predator. However, it's evident in some videos, which I'm not going to show here, he's literally touching himself to himself. So it's a very specific fetish, and AI feels his fetish, and he's able to create CSAM material because of that. All I can say so far is this individual needs help. Not the help where he can roam free. I mean, put him in jail and let him have therapy for the rest of his life. He'll never be quote-unquote cured. But he is somebody that definitely needs to be checked and evaluated, because I feel right now, as it stands, he is a danger. And if he's still out there, you know, of course, they're doing an investigation, we don't know, and we should not put our heads around. But if he is still out there just living life, doing what he wants, he is a danger and a predator. I'm not going to spread misinformation because a lot of that's been spread, but it is confirmed that he has been in the playground a few times in his own videos and doing bizarre things. No, he never chased a child. No, he was never interviewed by some random guy on TikTok, and I know what you're thinking about if you've seen it. And no, he does not live in the house that was bricked. That's not confirmed. He was actually confirmed to have moved out 4 months ago from that house in London. So, with all those pieces of misinformation, also to add, no, he did not kill anybody. To add those pieces of misinformation, there you go. None of these things ever happened with this situation. And I'm giving you a very rough rundown. There's like a 50-minute video I can make about just a specific person if I scripted it and segmented it and did what I wanted to do. But again, I don't want to make a video and give this guy attention. I'm going to just put my coin in the cup, and that's it. This is my attempt at talking about this situation the best way I can. This was not even going to be in this video. This was an honorable mention, at least. At best, just the final segment to make the video longer for you to enjoy me, because many seem to enjoy my voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I'm not going to globe myself like that. And also, again, ISIS, look at this dude. He's fucking terrifying. Point is, Schoolboy 9 is someone that you should not seek out or look for. Just let the authorities deal with him. But I want to put him on this because he's definitely a disturbing thing that I found across the internet, even though the title's not even that anymore. Point is, Schoolboy 9 is something that I commend you if you can stomach all that crap, but a lot of it is just weird pedophilic shit posts. At the end of the day, let the authorities deal with him. My yap session is over. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm about to go on a yap session since it's the outro. Like usual, this is a chance for me and you, the viewer, to connect. If you watch this channel regularly, you know that. If you want to hear new stuff about my life, stick around. But please, I beg you, stick around. Because if you like art, I got some cool stuff. First things first, let me get out of the way first. I'm not going to talk too much about this. Check out this channel, Bastard Society in Castle Rock. It's a collective me and my buddy Jacob and Elijah created. Now, my friend Elijah, also known as Lubby on all platforms, is releasing his single literally in 1 hour as I'm saying this. It's called Misery, so it's out right now. And if you care enough, I directed, edited, and shot his music video for this single. Misery. It is now on the Bastard Society channel as we speak. The single is out on all platforms like Spotify and Deezer and whatever the hell's out there. Please check out the music video and stream this single because Lubby is releasing an album soon and this single is one of the coolest things ever. The music video, it's my first music video I've ever created and shot, all in Vancouver, Washington, where the great Lubby resides. Please check that out. The other thing I want to say is shout out to Tomar and Lude Spook once again. These two guys are one of the greatest, most underrated channels on the platform. Tomar makes the best gaming videos and he only has 60 subscribers, and that is criminal. Lude Spook makes iceberg videos and dark style videos like me, and he only has 1,000 subscribers. That's also criminal. It's more criminal than the fact that I still don't have 10K. Point is though, Lude Spook and Tomar deserve love, and that's why I reached out to them and said, let's do this collab. Now, I guess to be fair, Lude Spook reached out to me first, but I'm the one that decided to give back and said, yes, do this. Let's do this. And let me tell you, they did not disappoint. Both of those guys did phenomenal. So give them some love in the comments because I've never done a collab before and that was fun. Lude Spook is going to be in one of my videos in the future. Yes, that's right. I'm doing another iceberg and it's called the Postal Iceberg. Now, I don't know when that's going to come out and it's definitely not the next video, but Lude Spook 100% is on it. So like I said, underrated channels. Check out Tomar and Lude Spook and also check out Lubby Misery official music video on the Bastard Society in Castle Rock YouTube channel. Also, www.bastardsociety.com is the collective website where you can get more information about us and find our socials. Woo! That is a mouthful, but I cannot say this enough. I appreciate all these people. Lubby, Lude Spook, and Tomar are some of the greatest people on this planet, and they deserve love, and they deserve to be recognized. And I'm tired of underrated people falling under people's radars. So the algorithm, push this video. You, viewer, stick with me as I'm yapping, and just give these people love. Love us all, man. We create underrated content. Just check us out, okay? Now, I know I was going off there, but they deserve that love. I'm gonna say it one more time. Lubby, Lude Spook, and Tomar. Check them all out, please. In the description below, I will link everything you need if you're curious. No peer pressure, but just a bit of peer pressure. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video was extremely fun to make. One of my best videos ever. And we're gonna have a new video coming out soon that you're gonna really like. Ladies and gentlemen, my next video is The Lost Media You Do Not Want to Find, Part 2. See you on the next one, and like I say from the beginning till the end, be good people.